Hello YouTube and welcome to this video on a subject that is so boring that if it gets 1000 views I would be very surprised. Either way, today I will discuss the Skyrim Civil War, not who is right or wrong. I've already done that in a rambling video. But what are the effects of the Civil War on Skyrim's economy? I've always been known as someone who just does whatever he likes, and this is a prime example of that. I don't care whether people think that this is a boring video or subject. I want to do it, so I will do it. If you don't like that, I'm so sorry. So let's just quickly kick off with the video. To be clear, this probably won't be a long video, but I hope an informative one. We know actually next to nothing about Skyrim's economy. The only thing that we sort of know is that the East Empire Trading Company exports and imports stuff into Skyrim and out of Skyrim. Out of Skyrim mainly bear pelts, meat, furs, some armor, maybe minerals, silver from the Markarth of course. But other than that we don't really know anything specific. Of course, we know from the guard, from the East Empire Trading Company, that they import bread and cheese for him, but other than that we also don't really know anything about import. We don't really know that much concrete, and why? I think it's because Bethesda knows that if they're going to entertain their players, they should not talk about economics at all, because usually at high school I was always very bored during the economics lessons. But something that we do know is that at least the larger cities like Whiterun in lore have rather large trading markets, and Whiterun in lore, so not in game but in lore, is actually the trading hub of the north, one of the most rich cities in lore. Since we do not know much about what exactly is being traded, I will talk more specifically about the impact of the war on the economy at large, not necessarily on individual products like meat or anything, because we don't know that much about it. However, I might just drop a line on specifics further into the video. So first we know that on the side of general goods merchants and blacksmiths, things have been going pretty well for the last year, I mean the Civil War year. Since everyone needs their weapons these days. This is actually one of the reasons that the Khajiit caravans we see came to Skyrim. When you talk to one of the caravan owners, he quite literally says that there are a lot of traders that stay out of Skyrim because of the war. But there are very big opportunities for general goods and weapon merchants like himself who actually like some action. This we hear from nearly every merchant in the game that sells weapons and general supplies and that actually has some dialogue to him. That the war has been very good for business, for local merchants that is, that sell weapons and other general goods. The East Empire Company, for example, also seems to have no problem with the Civil War, where while they are an Imperial institution, they are still allowed within the storm-controlled Windhelm. Probably because it's a large source of income for the city and Ulfric would not want to cut that off. I don't really know Ulfric's stance on the East Empire Trading Company, but if anyone does know his stance, please tell me in the comments. I could not find his specific stance anywhere. However, maybe those pirates that ruined the company's business in Windhelm and that sparked the quest you had to do for them might have been funded by Ulfric indirectly through the Shatter Shields, but I don't really know. There's nothing really concrete evident about it, so I won't speculate that. Anyway, for those parties, things have been going pretty well, to at least normal. However, we don't really see it in Skyrim, but in lore the Civil War is having a devastating effect on almost every other aspect of daily life in Skyrim. Food prices skyrocket with the destruction of farms and the killing and military recruitment of farmers. Farm raids by Stormcloaks in Imperial controlled territory are happening nearly daily, and the prices of food and other resources like iron from local mines are higher than they've ever been. In the game we can hear this most prominently in Whiterun, the trading hub of the north, where in a few different pieces of dialogue we can hear Jarl Balgruuf say that Whiterun's coffers are nearly empty and that he is actually struggling to keep the population of Whiterun provisioned. He makes this remark after his steward, Proventus Avenici, tells him he will need more coin if he is to provision the city properly, since the cost of goods has nearly doubled since the start of the war. Mulgrove also remarks how the food stores of his city are running very low and he will need more food if there is not to be any starvation in Whiterun. One of the reasons for this, beside the abolishment of farms I remarked earlier, is that with the war, protection of the law on the roads has also decreased, with all the soldiers needed for the war. This has made Skyrim's bandit problem significantly worse. There are some locations in Skyrim where one can see dead merchants on the road that have been looted by bandits, thus increasing the cost for goods, since the merchants will have to hire mercenaries to keep themselves safe on the road. And even if the Stormcloak raids in the Imperial territory are not enough, bandits are also raiding the farms like they're picking presents from under the Christmas tree. In one of the conversations on the Whiterun Market Square, we can hear her Olfina Grainmane, a customer, talking to Carlotta Valencia, a food merchant. She asks Carlotta whether she has risen her prices again, and then Carlotta responds with that the farmers are charging her double for the produce, since the bandits are raiding a lot because of the less frequent road patrols. This indicates that on the whole, farmers are probably the worst off of the whole civil war. Probably another large strain on Skyrim's economy that is not really connected to the large civil war, but it has something to do with the Markarth Forsworn uprising, is the silver mines. If I have to guess, a large part of the export of Skyrim is the silver mines from Markarth, the silver that comes from it. And with the whole Forsworn uprising, those have not been doing very great. As you can hear, Skyrim's economy is in a very bad state, and when we enter Skyrim we are at a point where things might still be saved, which will eventually happen when the Dragonborn unifies the province. When the Empire takes back the entirety of Skyrim, we can probably speculate that things will be on track pretty fast. With the with the East Empire Trading Company, they can use it to its full potential, and I think that with the help of the other provinces within the Empire, Skyrim might actually be prosperous again very quickly. However, in a Stormcloak-controlled Skyrim, there might not be such miraculous recovery. Or there will be one. Really, I'm no expert on economics, so I wouldn't know. Let me know in the comments, how do you think Ulfric would go about restoring the Skyrim economy? I really don't know. I think he can do it, but I wouldn't know how, because I'm no expert on economics, so maybe one of you can tell me. Anyway, one last remark before I end the lore part of the video. The situation in Whiterun is probably a good representation of the province. Well, probably Whiterun is of a lot better than the rest of the province, since Whiterun and Solitude are actually the richest city of Skyrim. I personally think that if the Dragonborn would land in Skyrim 1 year later and Alduin only appears 1 year after the Civil War has started instead of a few months after, we would be looking at an entirely different Skyrim, probably one with a lot of famine and shortages that would probably have a very thin children. I mean, look at North Korea where these kind of things happen. So yeah, but we can of course never be sure, really. It's a Bethesda game, so they probably haven't thought about economics a lot. But hey, who knows. So that was it. First off, thank you for watching. If you liked the video, like, subscribe, do all that shit. In my description are my Instagram and Discord for personal contact with me. I don't post often on my Instagram, but I do post memes sometimes. And I might offer some behind the scenes stuff on Instagram. I don't know. I don't know. Tell me if you would like to see that. Another big news thingy that you have to know is that I have a Patreon now. Some people suggested I should take one. Really, I really don't recommend any of you to go and give me money on that, because I don't want to money grab. But there are some people that would like to support me. So if you want, you can, but you of course never have to. You can. My videos are free of charge. I'm a free service, so really, if you don't want to do it, don't. I mean, and if you think, well, I have some money over, but I don't want to spend it on Imperial knowledge, then give it to charity, please do that. I mean, it's a way better way to spend your money. So yeah, I think that's about everything I had to say. Yeah, the Patreon people will get some extras, which I will touch on the Patreon, because I don't want to have this video drag on any longer. So I will see you all later.